Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. For today's video, guys, we got a special treat. And by special treat, I mean probably like a severely bad migraine. We have Skip Bayless's worst takes of all time. So this is going to be NBA related, it looks like. Which makes it all the better because this, of course, is more of an NBA reaction channel, right, man? So before we get going on today's video, if you guys don't mind dropping that like, and of course, subscribing if you are new to the channel. If you want to try to predict in the comment section below what the worst Skip Bayless take of all time is, let me hear it, man. Let's see if you get it right. Let's get it.
So, Stephen A., is LeBron James a first ballot Hall of Famer right now?
Yes.
Without question. It's nothing to even think about.
Exactly.
One of the greatest players to have ever played the game.
Even if you're a hater.
My first problem with this question, before I get to you, Stephen A. Smith,
oh, God.
is that, I think that Tiago Splitter is already a first ballot Hall of Famer in the
Tiago Splitter?
Everybody gets in. I think Carissa's going to get in due time. Stephen A. Smith will get in due time. Maybe. That's a big maybe. But
bro, they only got Big Ben Wallace in the damn Hall of Fame. Not just anybody gets in. Not just anybody gets in.
I can't respect the criteria for getting into the Basketball Hall of Fame the way I can the Baseball and the Football Hall of Fame. So if I'm judging by those standards, the baseball and football standards, there is no way that LeBron James
hating
is
just to
already
hate
a first ballot Hall of Famer. Do I have time to go into it? I don't think
no,
He had
no
9
time.
turnovers, so I'll give you that.
Hold on.
He was a disaster in the fourth quarter of that game. A disaster.
Okay, we're going to leave it right
I
there.
watched it with these two lazy repaired eyes.
You better get a refund.
Oh, please.
Squinch.
Looking
like damn Fred Stewart up in this bitch.
In what world?
You are disqualified now from talking about LeBron James as MVP because after what I saw yesterday, nobody who could be in the MVP conversation can get away with just taking a back seat in the fourth quarter to the other guy on his team. The MVP of the Cavs is this guy. It's Kyrie Irving. I would hate to see what would happen to LeBron without Kyrie right now because they might
and the
be
West
closer
Conference
to that
Finals.
team you were describing
Guess you
when
got
Kyrie was
AD
there.
though.
I'm sorry, but that's what it is. No more MVP talk.
Game for your life. Pick your 5.
You ready?
Skip Bayless picks the best NBA scrub team? What's that even mean?
Go ahead.
Okay, I told you, I only need really one player on my team, and that's Michael Jordan. So, voila, here's my team, and I'm going to have you read the names for me. Could you read my 4 teammates?
Oh, my God.
I'm just in honor of you, I want you to read the 4 players.
What am I looking at? Tiago Rasho Nesterovic. I think he played for the Seattle Supersonics. Kwame Brown. Stanislav Medvedenko.
Tiago Splitter.
Dear God, man.
Rasho Nesterovic.
That's bad.
Kwame Brown.
Kwame Brown, bonafide scrub.
Slava Medvedenko.
It's Stanislav, actually.
Get the Stanislav in.
My God. That's a joke on me.
No.
All-time greatest
that's a
pickup
joke.
team.
No,
Such a damn
You
troll.
can beat anybody because it's got Michael Jordan on it. I almost just put Michael Jordan solo on my team, just have a one-man show. But I thought, why not those other 4?
Let me-
Some rebounders.
Your all-time favorite
Let me
player.
treat the sport of basketball with the
Sesame
respect
Picks.
and deference it deserves. Because clearly you're blasphemy with that list. How could you show up on national TV and do such a thing? I mean, this isn't Halloween.
beat
This isn't
anybody.
Halloween. This is April
could
Fool's.
beat
This is
anybody.
April 1st. You don't
It
make a
would
joke
crush
like that.
anybody.
It's horrible. That's a horrible selection.
9 National Football League
Oh, here we
teams
go. We got some
that
football.
needed a quarterback last night passed on Johnny Manziel, starting with the Houston Texans, who will forever regret passing on Johnny Manziel.
Where's
and
he
in a
at these
minute, I will
days?
go right down the list of teams that will forever
Taking some shots
regret
off some
passing
strippers,
on Johnny Manziel, who pretty soon will
Parts?
change
I don't know, man.
football life in Cleveland, Ohio. One day, I am predicting, Johnny Manziel will become even bigger in the city of Cleveland than his buddy and business partner LeBron James ever was in the city of Cleveland.
Sure, maybe from a buzz standpoint, he's right up there with Anthony Bennett. Like, I remember him like that. So, he definitely has made a name for himself, a very embarrassing name, but yeah, okay.
Luke Walton was merely the son of the great Bill Walton, so that gives him some cachet, you know, it gives him some respect.
No.
Luke Walton was just a second. Luke Walton was a starter for 8 years alongside Kobe Bryant, and Luke Walton does have 2 rings to his credit, so he's only 1 short of LeBron. And
Stop it, Skip.
Wait a second.
Why'd you throw that in there?
I had to. Just for respect. And Luke Walton.
I guess Robert Ory's the GOAT.
34% said MJ would beat LeBron James one-on-one right now at the age of 52.
Dear God.
You hear that? 52 years old. They still think he can beat LeBron James.
Hell no,
right
man.
Now. That's 34%. 54% say no, LeBron would win the matchup if it was one-on-one.
He'd sweep it.
Though, and we're talking
I'm sorry.
about a specific age group. Look at this age group. They feel that if you're between the ages of 30 and 45 years old, 48% believe Jordan would take LeBron one-on-one.
Old head mentality.
So, Skip, did the American people get it right?
The 34%.
The 34%. I mean, and what we're saying is, can he right now, at 52 years old,
Right here, right now.
beat LeBron one-on-one? I mean, and beyond. Come on.
Don't even think about it,
You know,
Skip.
Stephen A.
Oh
Smith?
gosh, don't do this.
You know? He just might.
Don't do
He
this.
just might be able to.
Okay.
Okay, I'll give you
saying
this.
that-
Maybe he scores because obviously the jump shot ain't gonna go anywhere. So it's like if you can just get a shot up, over LeBron or whatever, but he ain't gonna beat him.
On this alone and this alone, Michael Jordan could figure a way to beat a LeBron James who just might crumble under the pressure to beat his idol, the greatest basketball player in the history of life.
Okay, so I just want to make sure we got this right.
Yes.
2 months, just give him 2 months, no cigars,
No
a
cigars,
diet change,
yep.
and trained by you.
That's how he did it in,
specifically, and just with heart and
when he was
head,
winning
he'd be able
championships.
to do it. Those are the
Correct.
intangibles.
Yep.
Cigars are
So
crucial.
that makes those
Okay.
34%. That's a high number.
Steak?
That makes them
Agree.
correct.
Okay.
I'm about to put Paul George in that category. I'm starting
In the
to
cleaner?
see, yes, I'm starting to see, by today's standards, cleaner capabilities from Paul George. And if I might, I'm also seeing them south of San Antonio in the city of Houston. James Harden is a bad man who is leading that basketball team in fourth quarter after fourth quarter after fourth quarter. I'm close to putting him in that category above Kevin Durant. This is all above Kevin. And the reason
what?
I can't put Steph Curry in there quite yet, he's just too little. I can't.
What's
because
that do
Kevin
with
Durant,
anything?
as we all know, he was born 6 feet. Not he didn't come out 6'10", but he's got
Yikes.
by gift 6 feet 10 inches, and what's his wingspan? 7'7". So again, can't put Steph in there yet just because of his size. And Damian Lillard is starting to threaten that category, also above Kevin Durant.
Wait, so am I hearing him punish Steph Curry because he's too small, but he's punishing Kevin Durant because he's too large? Pause.
I named a whole bunch of dudes, but I gave you 4 that I definitely would put up there above Kevin in the cleaner category. Here's my problem. I'm all about
hygiene?
fourth quarters, and we just gave the MVP to a guy who is not the closer for the Toronto Raptors because Van Vliet was the closer, which is why Hubie said, I'm going to go with the closer. He closed again last night. And I'm about to smash your argument into 1,000 pieces because that shot was 1,000% luck. That was simply the luckiest shot that ever fell to win a playoff game.
It was lucky,
Ever. In all my years, going back to covering the Lakers here in the middle 1970s, I've never seen a luckier shot that won a playoff game.
Why was it lucky?
Number 2 actually had the audacity after the game.
I mean, yeah, there was some lucky bounces on. He still knocked it down, so you got to give him credit. Like, sometimes, success is based off skill, and sometimes there is luck. And I did think that shot was a little mix of both. I don't think that's like a horrible take.
Standing on the court in the post-game interview to say that, I work on that shot every day in practice. No, you don't. Baloney.
Fade away off the baseline?
I think it's my turn, and I think you're not going to interrupt me because I didn't interrupt you after the early interruption.
Oh, okay.
Then I bided my time, and now it is my turn. There is no way he practices a shot to do that because I could give him 100,000 shots, and he could not, again, make a shot do that because it's almost physically impossible. How'd you like the end of Game 6 of the NBA Finals, the last minute? Remember that game?
Well, I loved the end of it. I actually was on the edge of my seat. Did I expect that to happen? No, I didn't. Skip, but you know what it's called?
Wait, was it LeBron who had those 2 late turnovers and then missed the time?
Wait, what game are they talking
And
about?
somehow the ball bounced
No,
to
let's go there.
Bosh.
Let's go there.
And it went to Ray Allen? Oh, Ray Allen
okay.
made the 3 that
You know what?
saved LeBron's career.
You know what?
Hold on, wait a minute.
You know why? Because you have no comeback.
I said you have to.
I'll let you off the hook
Hold on,
here.
wait a
You
minute.
got no comeback.
Wait a minute. I said you have to be able to play and be boxed.
Can I just point something out? Can we stop the narrative that Ray Allen saved LeBron's career? How many other, like, I'm going to go back, to like Robert Horry. How many big shots did he hit? Was he ever the superstar of his team? No, he was not. But he still hit a lot of big shots that resulted in big-time championships for big-name players. So can we stop with that, Ray Allen? Can we stop there?
Box office. You can't be box office but can't play. Don't you dare. Are you trying to tell me in that same, you're going to sit here, you're going to sit, I swear, I'm standing up for this. I'm standing up for this.
Talk about Hollywood.
Tell me,
Tim
are you going
Tebow's
to tell
Hollywood.
me
About to fight him, man.
Tim
Tim Tebow's a bigger draw than Kobe Bryant is right
Kobe
now.
Bryant?
He's a bigger draw than Kobe Bryant.
He's a bigger.
Yeah.
Dear God, man.
I got him.
I almost want to walk off this set right now. I can't believe this man just said this out of his mouth. You're telling me
Is
that
Marcellus Wiley in the house? We need to get Marcellus out of
Where is he?
He needs a blow.
Tim Tebow?
He's out.
Tim
We need
Tebow
a
is more
tag
box
team
office
partner.
than Kobe Bryant?
Yes.
Than Kobe Bryant?
Yes.
Is Tim Tebow more box office than LeBron?
I think so. It's the
Oh, my
National
God.
Football League. Go look at the numbers. Go look at the numbers he did in his games last year. It's through the roof.
Go on a set.
Bro, he hasn't gotten the job
Marcellus, get out
since.
here.
Get out here, man.
I
Go
need
ahead,
some
man.
help.
I don't even
Get
talk.
Marcellus out
I can't deal with it right now.
Yeah,
I need a
he's
break.
out. Yesterday, Avery Bradley was the GOAT. He was the GOAT for about 15 minutes. He had his
The greatest
15
of all
minutes
time
GOAT
for 15
fame
minutes? Okay, that
because
makes sense.
he took a season-high 12 three-pointers, and he made a season-high 6 three-pointers. And if you want to guarantee me that Avery Bradley, each time these teams play from here on out, every other game will hit 6 threes, I will tell you that the Lakers will sweep the Clippers in the playoffs. Because if he can keep making 6 a game,
Well, dang, they gotta get past Denver.
4-0 in the playoffs.
Play it again.
They got to get past
Look who's
Denver
guarding,
first.
Skip. He's matched up with Kawhi Leonard. He helped off of Leonard to stop the penetration.
But he goes out and runs into Ginobili.
He stopped. That's a help and recover play.
Okay.
He stopped him, but his man is Kawhi Leonard.
Okay, I'm with you on that.
Okay, so
but they run together. He runs into Ginobili.
But he's just
okay. But don't
stopping
give
the
me
ball.
this. Ginobili's going like this. Ginobili's protecting himself too. They run together.
He prevented him from making any play on the shooter.
He's not trying to make a play on the shooter. He's making a play. He's stopping Ginobili from going to the hole.
No, the
Wait,
play
what?
is
He's ultimately
stop the
guarding.
No, he's gonna close out on Kawhi.
And he is guarding. He's stopping the
Skip,
drive.
I participated in this kind of defense for 10 years in the
Okay.
NBA.
I've watched it for 30 years.
Help and recover. He wasn't guarding Ginobili. He was
stopping
He
Ginobili.
was helping to, till
Yeah.
he picks up the penetration
Okay.
and gets to the next part of it is.
Okay.
When he passes it, you recover to the shooter.
There's no pick play. Ginobili's not trying to pick him. They run into each other. They run in.
James
Ginobili puts
Harden's-
his arms up to
James
stop
Harden's
He was-
himself.
yeah, he was-
next step is going to be to step and extend on the
He's
shooter.
got a lane to go to Kawhi if he wants
does
to go.
not,
And he
because Ginobili
flopped.
took it
You know
away
why he
from
couldn't
him.
go to Kawhi? He flopped. He flopped away, and I will say this. It's karmic justice.
Apparently it
if you wanna
worked.
call
Can
it.
we respectfully disagree and move on to the Heat?
No.
I don't know.
Why? This is good.
That's a clear-cut one to me.
No, I know.
You teach a 6-year-old that.
Okay, I know that. Okay, the point
That's what
is...
he
It was this
did.
moment Stephen A. said he could have no more.
Because
Together.
Ginobili,
And he flopped.
you really think Ginobili
Flopped.
didn't? You're telling me right now, with your eye, your lying eyes, that
My
Manu-
lion
that
eyes,
Manu
my
Ginobili,
correct
that
eyes,
Manu Ginobili
my 20/20
did not-
eyes?
you're
Is
telling
that
me-
what you're talking
You're
about?
telling me right now that Manu Ginobili did not pass the ball and continue with his momentum.
Your
in the
2020
game.
eyes are about as good
He
as 2020 as a year.
him from
Just
getting
gonna
to the
say that
point.
real
Harden
quick.
got in his way. They ran face to face together.
Oh, my
Ginobili is
goodness.
protecting himself,
Stephen
and
A.
Harden flopped.
So how do you deal with this?
Don't ask for help.
I don't
Don't
know.
ask
I'm not,
for
I don't
help.
know how he does it.
All that said, what Dwayne said about defining moment is sad but true. And I'll tell you why it's sad.
Why is it sad?
It took LeBron 13 NBA seasons to have his defining moment. It took a finals that looked like LeBron was going to
It wasn't
lose
his
to
only
fall to
moment.
2-5 in NBA finals. And by the way, he wouldn't have even been 2-5 if not for the great Ray Allen,
Skip,
who
stop it.
saved his legacy.
Needs to stop with
the
that
greatest
take.
clutch
It's
shot
so
I ever
weak.
saw. It was a finals-saving clutch shot.
It was
Am I
very
right about that,
clutch.
Joy Taylor? Saved the
right.
day.
No, you're
Took
not, Joy.
LeBron off the hook. LeBron would have gone down not as the GOAT, as in greatest of all time, but just the GOAT of that game.
The greatest
As in-
clutch shot in NBA
Oh,
history.
come on. There's nothing like it, and it saved LeBron's legacy because if Ray doesn't hit that shot, we could have been talking about right now LeBron falling to 1-6 in the finals, and that
But he
that
didn't.
wouldn't be a very defining moment to me.
Agree that LeBron is the best number
kind of
one
question is that?
overall draft pick in NBA history.
You do? What happened? And because I believe this with all my heart and soul, that the guy who deserves to be number one on this list is the guy who is criminally underrated because he was the most boring superstar
Tim Duncan.
in the history of sports. Not just the NBA, it's Tim.
I will say Tim Duncan, I do think is pretty underrated. Like we all respect his greatness, but I don't think it's talked about enough. I will say
Duncan.
that.
He was
Not better than
boring.
LeBron
He
James,
was
though.
no Duncan, so he doesn't qualify for Sports Center highlights. But after they drafted him, you're right, he stepped on the floor and he was immediately better coming out of Wake Forest than David Robinson was. So they'd gone 20-62 the year before, mostly because David Robinson had been hurt. But boom, they
Boom.
take off, and a dynasty happened. Over the next 19 years, they made the playoffs every time. And what I loved about Tim Duncan was he stayed home the whole time. He didn't take his talents to
Pretty sure LeBron would have stayed home too if he had Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili early in his career. I mean, I'm pretty, and not Mo Williams and Antoine Jameson and Jamario Moon and Sasha Pavlovich, Anderson Varejao, a washed-up Big Z.
South
Big Z wasn't
Beach,
washed up the
back
whole
to
time, but,
Akron and blah, blah, blah. He stayed where he started and finished, and he was the leader of that franchise. And of the big three, he was by far the biggest of the big three. He was the superstar of that group, beyond Ginobili, beyond Tony Parker. And if you boil this down back to the greatest clutch shot that was ever made by Ray Allen, if you take that away, Tim Duncan would have been 6-0 in the NBA Finals. That is Jordan-esque. I got it, 6-0. I will never forget what number 2 did to me and my San Antonio Spurs. He quit on my Spurs 2 years ago and quit his way right out of San Antonio.
got himself a championship.
But you know what? Maybe it's time to forgive, to let it go, to let it be. Maybe it's time to do what number 2's Uncle Dennis asked me to do at the Manny Pacquiao fight back in August in Las Vegas on behalf of number 2. Uncle Dennis said, why don't you call him by his given name?
Right. It's disrespectful as hell
So
that
you
you call
know
him
what?
number 2.
It's time. Here I go. Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard.
I think on that note, guys, I think we just end the video.